Welcome to Neo Royal, House of Pricey Cardboard. On today's episode of Commander Gameplay, we have some brand new commanders from Strixhaven. Me and Kelly will be joined by Peter, aka Mono White Border, and Scoop FaZe. Scoop was kind enough to jump in last minute, so you should all thank him for allowing us to see Mavinda in action. Mavinda is the new hot deck from Peter, looking to cast small instants that cantrips from the hand and then from the grave for card advantage. These cantrips can do many things from combat tricks to removal. With 37 instants, you have to watch out at all points. There's also a very neat heroic package, a mechanic we don't see often in EDH. Scoop will be playing Nekusar the Mindrazor with Abush the Prepurser as a companion. Nekusar is one of those older commander that just got better with time as wizards keep printing cards that work with wheels. I kinda wish they would stop though. The Abush restriction to play only odd CMC makes it really interesting, since classic cards like Liliana's Caress are not allowed. Kelly is playing her new deck as well, Dina Soul Steeper. This one is going full trigger mode, turning small instances of life gain into small instances of damage. And when I say instances, I mean instances. The deck is running a lot of cards that cares about Pest. That was at first a flavor choice, but the more we play the deck, it turns out they are a pretty strong pick. Finally, I will be playing my Arcades the Strategist deck. It's a blend between an aggro deck and a combo deck, looking to attack with low CMC but high toughness walls and draw until I find my Axebane Guardian and a way to untap it for infinite mana, casting and drawing my deck and swinging with double striking walls. The interaction between Eerie Interlude and Kodama is completely insane. This card is just so powerful. If you enjoy what we do on the channel, make sure you are subscribed. We are trying to reach 1000 subs and the goal is getting so very close. Peter's opening hand contains Leonin Relic Warder, Niveus Wisps, Curtain of Light, Darn Charm, Ajani's Influence, and 2 basic planes. Scoop's opening hand contains Vile Smasher the Fierce, Magus of the Jar, Time Twister, Bribery, Scalding Tarn, Craven Cairns, and a basic Mountains. Kelly's opening hand contains Death Greeter, Skull Clamp, Pest Infestation, Molecular Rebirth, a basic forest, and 2 basic swamps. My opening hand contains Orator of Ujitai, Wall of Blossom, Grant Abolisher, Orashard, 3 visits, Canopy Vista, and a basic forest. Kelly gets to start this off.
Is that good? Oh, or a bad? Oh.
It's a good. Oh, I saw a bird on an adoption website, and his name is Gilbert. I love him.
And Lynn drops a swamp. She casts Death Greeter. Scoop Lynn drops a Scalding Tarn, and I Lynn drop a Canopy Vista. During my turn, Scoop cracks his fetch land for a Volcanic Island. Peter Lynn drops a Plains and end turn 1. Kelly Lynn drops a Forest and cast her commander, Dina Soul Steeper.
Don't look at me like that. It was either this or being eaten by a Gruff.
She heads into combat, sending the Death Greeter to me. Scoop Lynn drops an island, and I do the same. I cast 3 visits, searching my deck for a breeding pool. At my end step, Peter casts Niveus Wisps on Dina.
That's got him.
It has begun.
Right.
Peter Lynn drops a Plains and pass. Kelly Lynn drops a Swamp and casts Woe Strider. Entering the battlefield, she creates a goat token. She then goes to combat, sending Dina to Peter and the Death Greeter to Scoop. Reacting to attackers, Peter casts Curtain of Light.
And Dina will become blocked. And I'll draw a card.
Alright.
Will become blocked. What? Becomes blocked. Huh.
All those tricks.
Powerful magic right here.
Scoop Lynn drops Craven Cairn and casts Vile Smasher the Fierce. I Lynn drop a Forest and cast my commander, Arcades the Strategist.
Let them break themselves on the walls of our castle.
Peter Lynn drops Springjack Pasture.
Springjack Pasture.
Oh, another goat? Everybody's goating over here.
I just added this. I'm glad I did.
He then casts his commander, Mavinda Student's Advocate. Students, please take a seat. Today we will go over combat tricks.
Kelly, we're on the same team now. We're on the goat team.
Yay!
Yeah, so.
Many goats, all friends.
Kelly land drops a swamp and casts Skull Clamp. She equips the Skull Clamp on Gilbert the goat, killing it and drawing 2 cards. Dead Greeter will gain Kelly a life and Dina will lose us 1. She then equips Skull Clamp on Dina and pass. Scoop land drops a mountain. Cast Time Twister. Vow Smasher triggers for 3 at Peter. Before the wheel, Kelly casts Malakir Rebirth, targeting Dina. I shuffle a very good hand and we all draw a fresh new 7. At the end step, Kelly sacrifices Dina to Woe Strider, drawing 2 from the Skull Clamp and bringing Dina back to the battlefield from the Malakir Rebirth effect. She gets to scry 1 and then the Dead Greeter gains Kelly a life, which causes Dina to lose us 1. I then drop a Forest and recast Revisit, searching for Temple Garden untapped this time.
Arcades has got a 5 butt. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big
Big butt.
rump. That's a Pixar level rump.
I cast Wall of Stolen Identity. It enters as a Death Greeter with Defender. Arcades draws me the card. I then go to combat, sending Arcades to Kelly. Peter then drops a Plains and casts Vanguard of Brimaz.
The heck is this?
You know, you're not familiar with this Pharaoh's, the Born of the Gods uncommon?
Kelly then drops a Swamp and casts Sakura Tribe Elder, followed by Blood Artist. She then casts Deathrite Shaman, shipping the turn to Scoop. Scoop then drops Blightstep Pathway and casts Magus of the Jar. Vow Smasher deals 5 to Kelly. On my turn, I then drop a Flooded Strand and cast Lightning Greaves. I equip them to Arcades, and now that my commander is protected, I cast Jeskai Barricade. Entering the battlefield, I may return a creature I control to my hand and declines 2. I draw 4 Arcades. For my combat step, Arcades attacks Scoop. At my end step, Peter casts Heal on the Vanguard, getting a delayed draw and a Cat Soldier.
A 1/1 cat soldier. This kind of looks. It looks human-y, but trust me, it's a cat.
You should
then-
you should just draw cat ears onto it.
He then untaps for his turn and draw for heal. He then drops Myriad Landscape and goes to pass the turn. But at the end step, Kelly sacrifices Steve for a basic. This creates a couple of triggers, the Blood Artist drains me for 1, and Death Greeter gains Kelly a second life. This causes Dina to trigger twice. I also gain a life in the process from my own Death Greeter. Before we go to Kelly's turn, Peter uses Mavinda to cast Heal on the Vanguard again. Kelly then drops Undergrowth Stadium and casts Marauding Blight Priest. She equips the Skull Clamp on the Priest and pass. Skull then drops Bojica Bug, targeting Kelly with the ETB. Reacting to that, she activates the Deathrite to exile Steve and gains 2 life, which triggers the Priest and Dina. Scoop then casts his commander, Nikusar the Mind Razor.
The cost of your possession will be extracted from your wits.
Reacting to the spell, Peter casts Nevious Wisps, targeting the Vanguard to make a cat and draw a card. He then does it again with Mavinda from the graveyard. Vow Smasher triggers for 5 to me, and Nikusar resolves. At the end step, I crack my fetch land for Prairie Stream. I draw 2 for turn and takes 2.
There's a lot of damage going on, and I don't have a lot of life gain.
Like, the idea of my deck is to draw my deck, so that's gonna be tough.
I cast Sakashima the Imposter, entering as a copy of Jeskai Barricade. I use the ETB to return the original one to my hand, drawing a card and losing 1. I recast the Barricade, returning Sakashima to my hand and drawing a card. I then drop Seaside Citadel tapped and go to combat, sending Arcades to Scoop. I discard Beast Whisperer to end size because the last thing I need right now is to double draw on my walls. Peter draws 2 and then drops a Plains. He casts Bathed in Light, targeting the Vanguard to give all white creatures protection from black until end of turn.
Target creature and each other creature that shares a color with it gains protection from the chosen color until end of turn. So I'm going to choose black.
Oh no!
Oh, I think Kelly's already put the pieces together.
Heading into combat, he full swings Kelly. Kelly draws 2 and casts Arcane Signet. She thinks a little bit and casts Bolas Citadel. She then drops Woodland Chasm from the top of her deck and finds another land on top. Not letting that little speed bump stop her, she activates the Death Rite to exile my fetch land for a mana, using it to move the Skull Clamp on the Shaman. She then sacrifices it to Woe Strider, drawing 2 and scrying 1.
Oh. Okay.
The pieces.
The Blood Artist drains Peter and the Death Greeter gains 1. This triggers Dina and the Priest twice. After all that, she casts Sanguine Bond from the top of her library. She then casts Belby, Corrupted Observer, from the top as well. She passes by combat to get the Belby trigger, and in second main, using the 6 colorless, casts Kurik, Son of Yawgmoth.
Oh no.
Son.
Oh, nice.
She equips the Skull Clamp on Kurik and ends her turn. Scoop casts Jeska's Will. Val Smasher deals 3 to Kelly. Scoop adds 7 to his pool and exiles 2 land and Korvat's Fury from the top of his deck. He pays 3 to put his companion into his hand from the companion zone and then cast Obosh the Prey Purser.
Okay, I might respond to
Sure.
Obosh.
Please do.
So Obosh doubles the damage.
Any source that I would deal that is an odd number does double damage.
So that's
So-
14 damage from Magus.
That would be correct.
I mean, I'm at a higher life total than Neo and Kelly. Sure. I like those odds.
I'll bite, yeah.
At the end step, I basically encycle Ash Barrens for a plains. I draw 2 and take 4. I come to the conclusion that I basically need to draw through Conviction to survive, so I will just continue drawing until I'm out of life. I cast Wall of Roots, drawing a card on ETB, and I then cast Green Sun Zenith where X equals 4. I look into my library and get X-Bane Guardian. This is usually a very strong piece, but right now it doesn't do much to save me. I draw an ETB. Chipping in, I send Arcades to Kelly as Scoop can block with Nekusar. At the end step, Peter cracks the Myriad for 2 planes, and I discard Guardian Project to end size. Peter draws 2 and then drops Scavenger Ground. He then recasts Bathed in Light from his graveyard, granting Pro Black to his board again. He creates a new cat, and for his combat step, full swings Kelly again for 9 potential damage. Kelly reacts to attackers by activating the Bolas Citadel.
Tap Bolas Citadel to activate it.
Yep.
Goodbye, cruel world.
I'm gonna sacrifice 10 non-land permanents.
Sacrificing everything but the priest. This triggered the Death Greeters and the Blood Artist multiple times. Reacting to that, Peter casts Angelic Ascension to exile the priest. The priest is exiled and Kelly gets a 4/4 angel. The 6th Blood Artist trigger resolve, draining Scoop for 6, and the Death Greeter gains Kelly 5 life, while my Death Greeter gains me 6. Kelly then draws 2 from the Skull Clamp, losing 4, and each of her opponent loses 10. We then go to blockers, and the angel blocks Mavinda, while Kelly takes 7.
She lives.
And then here's a residual soldier. And then here's my anti-scoop tech. I came
Ooh,
prepared.
do
I'll
it.
cast Pursuit of Knowledge.
Dude, I love that card. Oh my god, it's so good.
That?
I got my anti-wheel tech ready to go, so I can skip drawing a card to put a study counter on it. And then if I have 3 study counters, I can remove them.
Yeah,
Nice.
I will let that resolve. I won't even activate this in response. You can have it.
Appreciated.
Kelly draws 2 and loses 4.
Oh.
Oh no, last time that happened, I think she cast Bolas Citadel.
The second Bolas is Citadel.
She then drops a forest and casts
Calling ritual.
Oh,
Oh my poor creatures. Oh no.
Me and Peter are the only one losing permanents for a grand total of 12 mana. My Death Greeter gains me 9 life. Kelly casts Villis, Broker of Blood, which we realized afterward would just kill her upon drawing her next card. She casts Venser's Journal, and then Eternal Witness. Entering the battlefield, the Death Greeter returns to her hand.
I like how we all play like Scoop couldn't just kill us whenever he wants.
Well, now I can. Because,
No, now you can't,
because
but
my
you
next
could.
board- yeah, the board is now wiped. Alright, so
On his turn, Scoop cracks the Magus to exile our hand and make us draw 7. This causes me and Kelly to take 14, while Peter declines the draw, putting counters on his enchantment instead. Kelly is taken out of the game and I'm at 1 life. Scoop then casts the original Memory Jar. Vial Smasher triggers for 10 to me, putting me out of my misery.
I want you to kill me with combat damage, Scoop.
absolutely, that's my plan.
You
Oh
hit
yeah,
me.
I gotta hit you with my boys. The squad take 5-10.
No better way to die. I'll take my 10.
Well played. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, liking and subscribing help us keeping the videos coming your way every week. A special thank you to Scoop who joined this pod on a very short notice. Make sure to check both our guests on Twitter and follow Peter's blog. All the links will be in the description. Take care my friend and we'll see you very soon.